After hearing the news that my younger brother and his wife had died tragically, I was overwhelmed with grief. I grabbed a syringe and stabbed their bodies over and over. Even when blood started seeping from the corpses, I didn't stop, because I knew they weren't dead at all. In my last life, they had faked their deaths with my father, leaving me with 10 million in debt and a newborn baby. I spent half my life paying it all off, only to end up terminally ill. Before dying, I transferred the company to my nephew's name, but the moment everything was settled, the couple came back from the dead. In the end, I was pushed down the stairs by my own father, so in this life, the moment I heard about their tragic death, I launched my counterattack. When my sister-in-law finally couldn't hold it in, my father pulled me aside, told me not to be too upset, said I should focus on helping them pay off their debts and raise the child. I laughed at how ridiculous that sounded, and if that's how he wanted to play, then he couldn't blame me for being ruthless. I called my assistant over and whispered a few instructions, then had the two of them wheeled away. My father tried to chase after them, but I snatched the baby from his arms, crying about how pitiful the child was. My father thought I didn't want to raise the baby, so he ran outside yelling, accusing me of being a heartless CEO who refused to take care of her own nephew. In public, I declared that I would raise the child, but only if he was legally adopted under my name, and had to call me mom from now on. My father agreed immediately, thinking once the money was in his hands, he could always take the child back later. Suddenly, he remembered the assistant had taken the couple away. He asked where they had been sent. When he heard they were taken to the autopsy room, he was completely stunned and rushed over in a panic. Luckily, he got there in time. The two of them were almost cut open. I explained that I just wanted an autopsy to find out the real cause of death, but my father stomped and screamed, refusing to let anyone touch them. He started quoting old customs, saying the dead must be buried in peace, and even lied that a fortune teller said tomorrow was the best time to hold the funeral. So the next day, I returned to our hometown carrying 2 urns. My father was speechless. He could only lie on the ground and cry. Meanwhile, I calmly picked up the baby in the cradle. What no one knew was that the couple hadn't been cremated at all. They'd been dumped in the countryside by my assistant. I was setting up a much bigger game. In a flash, 18 years passed. Under my guidance, my nephew got into Harvard and was even the top scorer in the entire province. I finally felt relieved and decided to officially transfer the company to him. When my father heard the news, he was overjoyed. Thinking his suffering had finally paid off, he immediately made up an excuse, saying he wanted to take his grandson back to the village to honor the ancestors. I agreed without hesitation. The next day, he brought my nephew back to the old house in the village. As soon as the door opened, inside were memorial tablets of the so-called dead couple. My father told the boy these were his real parents. The boy was dizzy with confusion, saying it couldn't be true. Just then, the door burst open. My brother and sister-in-law rushed in excitedly. They were overjoyed to see their biological son in front of them and couldn't wait to hug him. The boy was completely stunned. My brother started spouting lies, saying I had recognized the child's potential and deliberately harmed them just to keep the boy for myself, that it was heaven's blessing they had survived, so they could finally reunite with him. The boy didn't believe them. He said he wanted to ask me the truth, but my brother stopped him at the door.